Our major winter storm continues to crank across central and eastern Kentucky. Several inches of snow on the ground and a lot more to fall heading into the overnight. We'll talk about the updated totals just ahead.
It's a rough night for any driver out on the road. We'll have a live look at the latest conditions in Lexington.
And we have crews around central Kentucky tonight talking to drivers and getting a look at the roads for you.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good evening and thanks for watching. Tonight we are right in the middle of a major winter storm, and for most of us the snow has been falling for hours now.
Roads around the Bluegrass are very dangerous tonight. Here is a live look at the conditions on Winchester Road in Lexington, and they are not good. It is a first alert severe weather day. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. He shows us what he is tracking on the first alert defender. What a storm, Chris.
Yeah, and it's just really in the early stages, guys. We have hours and hours to go with more snow tonight. I want to show you some cams now to start things out. Interstate 75 out of Georgetown. That is a snow-covered interstate that we are seeing. How about the capital city of Frankfort right now, working on a half a foot of snow? That is just since 6 o'clock. So do the math on that. You're talking about a little better than an inch per hour of snow into the capital city. So roadways here are snow-packed. Not even bothering with snow covered. We went way past that earlier. They're snow packed and going to continue to pack down as we go into the overnight. The entire region with a winter storm warning that continues. No adjustments on the snowfall map from earlier. It's the same snowfall map we had out yesterday. Farther south, this has been a slow starter south of the Richmond area, southern parts of Madison County into the Kentucky-Tennessee border counties. It's an area we've talked about having lower totals. We will see if that cranks up. Suspect that it will over the next couple of hours. But within that band of 8 to 14, I'm looking at the totals that we're seeing, and I'm looking at the computer models for the rest of the night, and I'm thinking, boy, someone in there may top out at 14 inches or a little better in localized areas. Live First Alert Defender now. Here's the little dry slot that is beginning to fill back in across southern Kentucky. 27 Lexington, so everybody going below freezing now. The heavy rain southeastern Kentucky shutting down as we're getting a mix over to a little sleet. Heavy snow, getting reports of some power outages now into parts of Lewis County, around Vanceburg, into Mason County, not too far away from the Maysville area. Here's Defender up close and personal for the Lexington Metro. Heavy bands of snow coming through here. Anywhere now on the ground from 4 to as much as 6. Even had an 8-inch report coming out of parts of Harrison County a little earlier. A lot of 5- and 6-inch amounts across the capital city of Frankfort. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell joins me now. And Jim, you're looking through social media and you are seeing a lot of folks that are measuring the snow forest out there, and they're coming up with those totals.
And a few of those coming in with those WKYT rules, winter rulers that we've been passing out, since about November or so. And you're right, we are seeing some of those totals. Here's straight from the Kentucky weather feed, and this one is from Harrison County, the Poindexter area, coming in just shy of 6 inches of snow up there. So getting in on some of those higher totals. A very wintry scene out toward Flemingsburg. Check that out. That, I can't tell you how much that is, no measurement, but that is certainly starting to stack up as well. And here's a good timeline for us. This started earlier on this evening, about 7:30, and it worked all the way up till 10:30. This is right here in Lexington, and you can see how well the owl there in the picture continues to get a little more snow on it and even more on the table. And we'll see those totals continue to increase as we head through the overnight hours. And one more shot from another WKYT rules winter ruler coming in right around 5 inches. Give it a little bit more than that, and a lot more to go as we head through the overnight hours. And that right there was from Paris. So a lot of snow still to come on that radar. Some of those heavy bands that are just behind me, they're on their way here tonight, Chris.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I suspect a lot of folks that we were just showing off with some of those measurements may double what they have on the ground now. This is a very heavy snow band that is oriented from northeastern Kentucky right on through the Bluegrass region into western Kentucky. Yes, we've got this little bubble of some drier air into southern Kentucky, but we're going to try to see that fill in as that moisture from Nashville back into the Ozarks continues to increase. So Sam, Amber, we have all of this moisture that is out across western Kentucky, western Tennessee, and Arkansas to go as we head into the overnight. So it is certainly not out of the question to be talking about a very big swath of real estate from southwest to northeast dealing with 10 to 12 plus inches of snow when you wake up tomorrow morning.
All right, Chris, that is not what many of us
No.
want to hear, that's for sure. Well, we already have dozens of closings for tomorrow, including Fayette County Schools and the University of Kentucky. Check the bottom of your screen for a full list.
And once the snow started falling tonight, it didn't take long for roads in Lexington to become covered, and they're getting worse really by the hour. Jordan Valines joins us live from Lexington with the latest on the roads. Jordan?
That's right. I just spoke with Lexington police. They say within the last hour alone, they have seen or they've heard dozens of accident reports. And if you take a look behind me, you can see why main roads like this one, we're here off of Winchester Road, are still just covered in several inches of snow, and road conditions are expected to deteriorate throughout the night tonight as the snow just continues to fall. First rain, followed by sleet, and finally snow. It was a recipe for disaster on the roadways tonight.
And I had to do a turnaround up here, and I started sliding as soon as I'm turning, going like less than 5 miles an hour.
Other drivers say the interstates were littered with accidents.
Mostly single vehicle accidents, a couple of them, the two had run into each other, several of them facing the wrong way on Interstate 75.
He says the treacherous road conditions quickly became too much for many to handle.
I must have passed 10, 15 wrecks in the last 20, 30 miles. So I pulled off 75. I'm going to a hotel and staying the night and trying to see what it's like tomorrow.
Haley Fryman's place of work closed down early, leaving her with no choice but to brave the roads now blanketed with inches upon inches of snow.
I'm gonna go really, really slow. It could take like 30 minutes to an hour, and I only live like about 5 minutes away from here.
Road crews in Lexington began plowing around 6:30 tonight, but as the heavy, wet snow continues to fall, it became increasingly difficult for their plowing efforts to make a huge dent in the roadways that can now be described as dangerous. Lexington police say that the interstates are especially bad right now, and they're urging drivers that if they have the possibility of staying home tonight, to please do so. Live in Lexington, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
Jordan, thank you. We have much more. Lexington city leaders have opened up the Rupp Arena parking lot. That's so people downtown can keep their cars off the streets for the snow plows to do their jobs. The streets and roads crews are working 12-hour shifts. Lexington city offices will be closed tomorrow. There will be no garbage pickup. LexTran is operating on its snow plan tomorrow, and most flights at Bluegrass Airport scheduled after 6 o'clock tonight were canceled.
The interstates are a mess tonight, as Jordan just told us. Transportation leaders say semi-crashes have closed the Bluegrass Parkway in Woodford County and eastbound I-64 in Bath County. In Scott County, the snow started falling late this afternoon, and it hasn't let up since. Garrett Weimer continues our live team coverage now from Georgetown. Garrett?
That's right, Amber. Snow is still falling fast here in Scott County. I'm here off of Cherry Blossom Way in Georgetown, and I've been here all night, and honestly, the snow has not stopped since it started right around 5 o'clock this afternoon, and just by looking at the roads, you can tell. From rain to sleet to full-fledged winter wonderland. It didn't take long for that parade of precipitation to stick to, then cover streets in Georgetown and Scott County.
A lot of people driving really slow, and then you've got some people that are like driving like maniacs, which we don't want that, because you don't want these wrecks out here tonight, especially on a night like this.
Tuesday, the mayor of Georgetown announced a new interim snow plan, which city and county leaders hoped had them more prepared for the snow this time around. But part of the problem was all that rain earlier, which kept crews from pre-treating roads. Still, crews were out and about even before the first flake fell, and drivers who had to be out made sure they were ready for the worst-case scenario.
Just fill up with gas, make sure that I got a blanket in the car, and boots and gloves, and if I did have to walk or whatever, you know, I'm good. Got my cell phone charged. I think it'll be okay.
Once the snow started falling, and falling, and still falling, getting around became a tougher task for everybody.
Slow down, do not speed, and be cautious of the drivers around you.
Just because you got a four-wheel drive does not mean you can drive fast. You can't stop, you know, especially if it's icy. So just slow down and take your time.
Definitely good advice there, and stay inside if you can. Besides that, you might, even if you did try to leave, you'd probably have to dig out your car at this point already anyway, just like I think I'm going to have to actually before I take off from here as well. Live in Georgetown, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
We're right there with you. All of us are going to be digging out tonight. Well, the roads aren't any better in neighboring Franklin County tonight.
Now, here's a live picture of what it looks like there right now in Frankfort. Snow started falling there late this afternoon, so it's really been coming down for some time. Many folks told us they did not want to take any chances on the roads. Our Sam Smith talked to some truck drivers tonight who decided to stop for the evening.
Yeah, main roads like Versailles Road and the interstate are still covered in snow, but drivers are still out here taking their time and playing it safe. For truck drivers, snow on the road changes how they drive.
You have to watch for the other drivers. You have to be very, very careful.
The snow-covered roads Wednesday night meant some truck drivers had to pull over sooner than they wanted to.
I think everyone's pulling over. On the CB, they said about every place is filled up. And we're back to the ramp right now.
Road crews are focused on removing this snow right now. Earlier today, their attention was on flooding concerns and closing the Kentucky River floodgate as a precaution for the first time since 2010.
We don't expect that we're going to need that, but it's better to go ahead and put that in.
There are no travel restrictions for the area, but it seems several drivers have decided to stay home. Workers at the I-64 rest stop say they've seen fewer drivers than normal, and they hope this snow goes away soon.
I'm tired of the snow. I'm ready for spring. Just melted today, and now we got more.
The Franklin County Sheriff tells me his office worked tons of accidents today, but none of them were serious. In Frankfort, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Sam, thank you. We'll have more winter storm coverage a little bit later in this newscast, including some of your eyewitness pictures. And tomorrow morning, bright and early, join Bill Bryant, Rebecca Smith, and meteorologist Micah Harris for WKYT this morning. We'll begin a half hour early at 4 a.m. with team coverage of this latest winter storm.
Oh, I suspect some of us may be sticking around for that as well as we track this major winter storm across the entire region heading into the overnight. I'll show you why some of the heavier snows are yet to come. When I come back in a moment, we'll talk about some updated totals.
Firefighters in Bourbon County say the roads there are getting worse tonight because of all the snow.
And this is what it looked like in downtown Paris shortly after the snow started to fall. Firefighters told us that emergency crews have worked a few dozen accidents in Bourbon County tonight. Bourbon County schools are closed tomorrow. Keep checking the bottom of your screen for the full list of closings. And many of you have been sharing your eyewitness pictures with us tonight. We really appreciate that. Jamie says this picture of a snow-covered neighborhood in Winchester was taken at about 9 o'clock tonight. And JC posted a picture to our Facebook page showing the old Capitol building in Frankfort tonight. Beautiful scene there. If you have pictures, we'd like to see them. Just share them with us through Facebook or Twitter using the hashtag WKYTRulesWinter.
Some frightening moments in Bourbon County today when a truck hauling a horse trailer got stuck in high water. It happened this afternoon along Steel Road. Investigators say the truck tried to get around the water, but the trailer ended up tilting on its side. 6 horses were inside that trailer.
They were able to get the truck stabilized to where it wouldn't turn over. We're able to get the horses out. There were veterinarians here on the scene the whole time, checked out the horses. All seem to be in good shape.
Crews were also able to move the trailer off that road.
A victory tonight for Kentucky's craft breweries as state lawmakers have approved a bill designed to help them. Today, the Senate passed a bill that bans brewers from also owning distributors. The bill has already passed the House, and Governor Beshear says he'll sign it. The bill means that Anheuser-Busch will have to sell its distributors in Louisville and Owensboro.